Imagine for a moment that we are not alone. Out there, among the countless stars and swirling galaxies, other minds might be looking back at us. They might have their own civilizations, their own histories, and their own ways of expressing what it feels like to be alive. What would their creations look like? Would we even recognize them as art? This isn't just a question for late-night science fiction movies. It's a deep, scientific inquiry into the nature of intelligence, perception, and creativity itself. To understand what alien art might be, we first have to look at our own. What is art to a human? We paint on canvases, we sculpt from stone, we write epic poems, and we compose symphonies. We tell stories through dance and film. For us, art is a way to capture an emotion, an idea, or a moment in time. Think of the cave paintings at Lascaux, created by our ancestors tens of thousands of years ago. They were depicting their world, the animals they hunted, the hands that made the art. It was a way to say, I was here, this is what I saw. Our definition of art is deeply tied to our biology. Our eyes are sensitive to a specific slice of the electromagnetic spectrum which we call visible light. Our ears are tuned to a certain range of frequencies, which shapes the music we create, from the deep rumble of a bass drum to the high notes of a violin. Is the drive to create unique to humans? Or is it a fundamental property of intelligence, wherever it may arise in the cosmos? Perhaps any species that develops self-awareness will eventually feel the need to do more than just survive. They might feel an impulse to decorate their living spaces, to tell the story of their people. Creativity could be a universal constant, a signpost of a mind grappling with its place in the universe. It might be the ultimate expression of life itself. Consider what drives human creativity. We create to communicate complex emotions that simple language cannot capture. What exactly is art? For us humans, it is the act of taking an idea, an emotion, or a perception and giving it a physical or sensory form. Think of the monumental pyramids of Giza. They are not just tombs, they are powerful statements of belief, engineering, and culture. They are art on a massive scale. Consider the leap from the realistic portraits of the Renaissance to the abstract splashes of Jackson Pollock. Both are considered art, yet they approach the act of creation from completely different angles. This evolution shows that art is not a static thing. Now let's turn our ears to music. At its most basic level, music is organized sound, but it's so much more than that. Music is a universal language for humanity, yet it speaks with an infinite number of dialects. Like visual art, our music is profoundly shaped by our biology. Our ears have evolved to perceive a specific range of sound frequencies and volumes. We find pleasure in harmony, which is based on simple mathematical ratios between sound frequencies. When you combine all forms of human creativity, a larger picture emerges. Art and music are the threads that weave together the tapestry of human history. A Greek tragedy teaches us about their ideas of fate and justice. A medieval cathedral tells us about their relationship with God and the cosmos. Art builds communities. It gives us shared symbols, like a national flag or an anthem, that create a sense of belonging on a massive scale. Furthermore, art is often the engine of social change. It can challenge the status quo, question authority, and give a voice to the voiceless. Our experience of the universe is filtered through a very specific set of biological tools. Our eyes are tuned to a narrow band of the electromagnetic spectrum that we call visible light. Imagine a world built by a creature that sees in ultraviolet light. Their cities might be painted in colors completely invisible to us, appearing as a dull, uniform gray. The same limitations apply to our other senses. Our hearing is confined to a frequency range of about 20 to 20,000 hertz. A species that communicates using much higher or lower frequencies might create symphonies that are completely silent to human ears. Beyond the hard limits of our biology, our perception of art is shaped by an even more complex filter, our culture. The minimalist Zen gardens of Japan are designed to evoke a sense of calm and contemplation, while the vibrant street festivals of Brazil evoke joy and communal celebration. Imagine finding an alien artifact that is predominantly white. A human astronaut might interpret its meaning based on their own cultural background, potentially reaching a conclusion that is the complete opposite of the artist's original intent. We would need to approach any potential artifact with the understanding that our own ideas of beauty and meaning are not universal. Ultimately, our perception of art comes down to the 3-pound universe inside our skulls, the human brain. Our brain is a pattern-seeking machine. We find beauty in patterns, in symmetry, in the golden ratio, perhaps because our brains evolved to recognize order in a chaotic world. An alien brain may have evolved under entirely different pressures on a world with different rules. It might not be a pattern-seeking machine in the same way ours is. The alien brain might create things for reasons our minds are simply not equipped to comprehend. Let us venture beyond the familiar comfort of our own senses. Imagine a life form that navigates through echolocation, like a bat or dolphin. Their art might be a meticulously designed physical space, intended to be experienced by moving through it and listening to the echoes that bounce back in complex patterns. Consider a species that perceives the world through changes in electrical fields. Their form of expression might be a type of living electrical dance. They might arrange their bodies in specific formations to generate a collaborative electrical field that communicates a story or emotion. Imagine a species whose primary sense is olfaction. They wouldn't paint with pigments. Instead, they would compose with molecules. A single sculpture might be a crystalline object that slowly releases different aromatic compounds, telling a story that could take days or weeks to fully experience. Imagine a creature that lives in a dense fluid, like the oceans of Europa. Their art could be hydrosculpture, intricate, stable vortexes and currents in the liquid around them. When we finally send a robotic probe into an alien ocean, it might pass right through a grand gallery of these fluid masterpieces, recording nothing but minor turbulence. The most profound differences in art might come from alien consciousness itself. Imagine a mind that perceives all of time simultaneously. Their equivalent of a novel might be a single static object that contains all the information of the story within it at once. What about a hive mind, where billions of individuals are linked as a single thinking entity? Their art might be an internal process, existing only within the shared consciousness. The entire civilization could be vibrant and art-filled, but completely invisible to outsiders. Their culture would be made of pure thought. After exploring the vast possibilities of alien senses and minds, perhaps there is a bridge. That language might be mathematics. Imagine we discover an artifact that emits radio pulses marking out the prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. We would know this was not a natural phenomenon. What if the pattern is a visual representation of the Mandelbrot set, or a sonic expression of the Fibonacci sequence? We might not understand the cultural meaning, but we'd recognize the underlying mathematical order. An alien species might find spiral forms aesthetically pleasing for the same reason we do. It's a visual representation of life and efficiency. Beyond mathematics, there's another potential source of common ground: physics. The laws of physics are the same everywhere. The branching pattern of a tree, a river delta, or our circulatory system is governed by physical principles of efficient distribution. The spiral shape of a galaxy, a hurricane, or a seashell is another common pattern in nature, governed by principles of growth and gravity. So when we finally encounter alien art, it might be a surprisingly familiar reflection of the one universe we all share. While math and physics offer hope for common ground, there's a final barrier that might be impossible to cross: the nature of consciousness itself. There's no guarantee that an alien intelligence would share any of our internal states. Their inner world could be a complete mystery. If their art isn't meant to evoke joy or sadness, what is its purpose? We might appreciate its structure, but its heart would be forever beyond our reach. The discovery of alien art could show us we're not alone in our drive to create, while reminding us of the immense loneliness of our own unique consciousness. In the late 1970s, humanity decided to send a message out into the cosmos. We attached golden phonograph records to the Voyager spacecraft. These golden records were our attempt at a self-portrait, our first serious attempt to present our art to any alien civilization. The 90 minutes of music were chosen to represent the vast emotional range of humanity, the mathematical elegance of Bach, the passionate storytelling of Beethoven. We sent our art as a representation of our soul, hoping its emotional intent could somehow be felt across the alien divide. It's our message in a cosmic bottle. When science fails to provide answers, our imagination takes over. Science fiction has explored alien art for decades, creating a vast imaginary gallery of cosmic creations. In Arthur C. Clarke's Rendezvous with Rama, explorers find a massive alien world filled with incredible, inscrutable technology that remains a total mystery. In Ted Chiang's Story of Your Life, the basis for the film Arrival, aliens have a written language that represents meaning directly, without reference to spoken words. To learn their language is to learn to think in a new way, literally rewiring the human brain and expanding our consciousness beyond its previous limits. Ultimately, every story we tell about alien art is really a story about ourselves. Our speculations reveal our deepest hopes and fears about our place in the cosmos. When we imagine alien art based on math and physics, we express hope for a rational, understandable universe where intelligence everywhere converges on the same logical principles. When we imagine art that is a total mystery, we confront the possibility that we are fundamentally alone in our experience, that our consciousness is just a local accident. By trying to imagine what an alien might create, we are forced to look closely at what we create, and why. The question forces us to ask, what is human art, and what does it say about us? We have journeyed from the familiar galleries of human creation to the speculative frontiers of alien imagination. This exploration leaves us standing before a final cosmic canvas, one filled not with answers, but with profound and exhilarating questions. The search for extraterrestrial art is, in its essence, a search for evidence of another consciousness, another mind that has looked out upon its universe and felt the impulse to create. Finding such an artifact would be the single most transformative discovery in human history. It would reframe our entire understanding of our place in the universe. Throughout this deep dive, we have used the idea of the alien as a tool to better understand the human. The alien in this sense is a mirror. We can now look at a Renaissance painting, listen to jazz music, or read a poem with a new sense of cosmic context, seeing them as products of a particular species on a particular planet. When we consider the immense differences that might separate us from alien intelligence, the cultural differences among humans begin to seem much smaller. The various artistic traditions of humanity are simply dialects of the same fundamental human language, all artifacts of the human mind. So where do we go from here? We continue to look. We continue to build better telescopes, to scan the skies with more sensitive instruments. We do this not only with the hope of finding life, but with the courage to find whatever that life has created. It takes courage because the discovery might be unsettling. Art and science are not separate endeavors in this quest. They are partners. Science provides the tools to look, while art provides the mental framework to understand what we might find. The journey is an invitation to every one of us. You only need to look up at the night sky and allow yourself to wonder. Imagine the worlds that circle those distant points of light. Whether we ever find alien art or not, the search itself is a masterpiece. It is a testament to human curiosity, our refusal to be content with the known. The question, would we recognize alien art, is one of the most beautiful questions we can ask. It contains our hopes, our fears, our humility, and our boundless imagination. And by simply asking it, we are already creating something wonderful. A richer, more thoughtful, and more cosmic perspective on ourselves.